truth?
Oh, I'm all ears.
Okay. The truth.
I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Why do you find it so hard to believe?
Why do you find it so easy?
It's never been easy.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.
Hello and welcome back to Truthful Talk. It's good to have you back here once again. I'm Marco. I'm here with Natalie sitting across from me to my right, and Jared is with us again to my left. Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
How are you guys doing today?
Good to be back.
Super duper.
Yes. So last time, we were supposed to talk about a topic, and then we got hijacked with pyramids and clowns and David Duchovny and everything else. But no, it was great. It was great. I would love to even get back to it and go deeper into that because that was just like super cool. But I really wanted to talk about food, and not just because I'm starving, but because it was something you said to me, Jared, like I think 2 times ago or something. We were having a conversation, and you were talking just about willpower and how we eat when we're not really hungry, but we tell ourselves we're hungry for other reasons. Whether it's food's a big pleasure center for me. Like I get comforted.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Because we never see you eat.
Well,
yeah. You closet pleasure eater.
But like, I love chocolate, and like coffee and chocolate are my two. Like tiramisu and things like that. I love that's tiramisu is great because it's like coffee and chocolate
mashed together. No peanut butter though. It's weird.
I know, no peanut butter. But it is and it was interesting when you were saying, Jared, that it's how much of a willpower thing it is, and how much of almost a deception of our mind or something. That
it's an interesting word, willpower, because I don't know that I use that word, but I like that you say it that way because I don't know. I guess it's an interesting thing to say, like willpower, because I feel like it's more like I think I remember the conversation we were having. I was fasting that day.
Yes, you were fasting.
And we were talking about fasting.
Which is still an amazing concept to me.
Yeah, which is funny, but that's amazing to us, right?
Yeah.
Because it's actually a part of like human history and religions. And it's like ingrained, and it's like this knowledge that like humans have had that we've totally lost due to, I think, marketing. I think a big part of it currently is the fact that we're told to eat, and there's like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so I think the whole connection to believing that we need to eat breakfast is already this thing that where we go off we're going into the deep end there. Like, what? That is not a thing.
Oh,
you don't have to eat breakfast.
It's so good.
It's ingrained in us. We're like, no. That's the important meal. You must eat breakfast.
Well, they say
you don't have to eat breakfast.
The most important meal of the day is what they say.
Yeah.
Talk about marketing. That's amazing, right?
Wow.
And now we got a bunch of eaters that are hungry right when they wake up. It's like, come on, dude, eat.
But when you're sleeping, you're fasting. People don't know that either. Like
Totally.
they're not like aware that you can do it anyways.
Well,
because you do it.
Yes. If you don't eat a big meal right before you go to bed.
True.
What do you mean?
Well, if you eat a huge meal right before you go to sleep, like if you eat late at night, you're not fasting, you're digesting.
Okay.
Is it even digesting though? I don't know that it is, because I get if I were to eat and then go to sleep, I'm sick when I wake up.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sick. I don't feel good.
The night, yeah.
So I wonder if it's like not even, and see, I don't know anything. I don't know any of this stuff. But like through my experience, it's not great.
You need to digest it before. And I have heard that you should have your last meal 3 hours before you go to bed.
Right.
But
because you want to digest it at least far enough before you go to sleep. Because otherwise your body can't get into deep sleep mode because it's actively working on food.
Even water. It says don't have water like an hour before you go to bed. It's a 3, 2, 1. I've heard that. 3 hours.
Water. What are you talking about? I drink water all night.
Yeah. It says, from what I heard, So your body, you don't get up, I guess. But 3 hours before, I think it's finish your meal. 2 hours before, maybe 2 hours before, drink water, and 1 hour before, turn off the televisions. That's what it is.
No. We're getting into some bizarre territory there.
I don't know. We
I
were
go to
talking
sleep
about
with
that.
the TV
We were
on.
talking about that without the microphone. I told you it's called sleep hygiene.
Sleep hygiene.
That's the new, talk
Good
about
word.
marketing. It's a new term.
Yeah.
How was your mental hygiene? How was your sleep hygiene?
My sleep hygiene's terrible.
It's so
Yeah.
dirty.
My food hygiene's been terrible my whole life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's why we were talking about it, is because I used to be like 5 pounds shy of 400 pounds, I think. And so I think that the whole fasting journey for me has been, I'd say like it's a cure for a lot of ailments I've had, including obesity, but inflammation and many years I had, I think I spoke about this on the first episode, is like, I wasn't able to walk for like 12 years. Like I was on wheelchair, scooter.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a weird journey because you're confused and no one really knows why you can't walk and what's happening, why your feet and your knees are locked up. And so turns out I spoke about Jace figuring out he had celiac disease, and then Joel had celiac disease. And then it's like, I think I'm the reason for it. Then I go get tested. Hey, it was half off the test. It was $30. I went and got a test and I had celiac disease.
Oof.
And so undiagnosed celiac disease which is an allergy, severe allergy to gluten.
Right.
Which is found in wheat. And it's in everything. They put it in everything.
Yeah.
It's a great way to thicken anything. It's it's great. Even with candy, they put a lot of times to like, Lukumi is like this, like a Turkish delight kind of thing. And they toss it. It doesn't need the flour, but they'll use it because it helps it not stick.
Yeah.
So wheat and gluten is extremely helpful when you're making food, and so it's in everything. And and then if it's not in everything, then it's in the factories that they process things with. So then they're processing in the same machines and all the same stuff that has gluten all over it. And I always thought this was kind of like not that big of a deal, but then now having it, I realized that was all the issues I had led from having a gluten allergy or having celiac.
Wow.
That's crazy. And I found that I have a gluten sensitivity, but when I'm trying to go down the rabbit hole, because I can eat some things that affect me and some things that don't. And what I'm finding is it's not the gluten itself, it's how it's processed or another chemical that's used with gluten. One of these other preservatives or something else that is typically coupled with things that have gluten in it that tend to be the things that affect me. And when I stopped, I haven't found, because, my doctor's like, no, you don't have a gluten allergy. Stop. And I'm like, but I do. And she's like, no, you don't, because otherwise, if you had, celiac disease, that you would be sensitive to all gluten. So you don't sometimes have it and sometimes don't. You either have it or you
Flare up
don't.
or something. Yeah.
And says, no, your sensitivity is to something else.
I kind of disagree with your doctor.
Okay.
I feel like our body does weird things to deal with things. So what you're explaining to the doctor is that you're having whatever symptoms that aren't consistent symptoms. It doesn't mean that the gluten's not consistently affecting you, but the symptom that you're like, oh, that's what happens with gluten. You're like, oh, whether it's a rash or whether it's, a stomach ache, you're like, well, that's what happens with gluten. But it could be attacking your joints. All of a sudden you have a stiff neck. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't move my neck today. That's probably it could be your ankle or your knee. So I feel like until you get the blood test, which it's funny, like that's the line, right? Like get the blood test and then you'll know more data. But I feel like for me it was similar. It was like, no, that's not gout. That's not celiac. That's not what it is. It would be this. It would, you'd have consistent symptoms, never consistent symptoms. Always just a wide variety.
So for example, I cannot eat a certain type of pizza. I don't know if I should say the brand or not, but I should. It's not Mama's pizza, but I cannot eat a certain type.
Garlic
of pizza.
It's garlic.
Okay.
That one's loaded with garlic.
Well, it might be, but it's in the dough.
Oh, okay.
It's in the dough, so I'm not using the sauce or anything else. But when I eat that, I'm doubled over in pain. I get a headache. I get like this pain that goes from my head all the way down, like my neck into my spine. It's really rough eating that. And so there's something in the processing of that flour or the food or something, the preservatives, I don't know what, but there's something in there that that affects me.
I mean, could it be the combination of gluten, butter, garlic, all of it together is just like the cocktail?
It could, but I could eat several other types of pizza and have no issues.
Interesting.
It's not pizza. I mean, I still have issues because, I mean, well, the cheese and the meat is bad for my cholesterol. The tomatoes affect my GERD, and then of course the gluten. It's like pizza is just ultimately what's bad for me completely, and I love it. I want it.
Devil.
Yeah.
So, but it is interesting. I can go like to let's say like a mom and pop Italian restaurant. I'm fine, but I go to certain chains and I'm not. There's something there.
Chains or that one in particular?
Well, definitely that one has been the consistent one where I know I cannot.
Yeah, it has a lot of something in it.
I found there's certain chains of restaurants that consistently make me feel bad once I eat it.
It'd be so interesting to find out if it's like sulfites. Like,
I should probably go down that rabbit hole and figure it out.
Have you done the blood test or that you're talking about?
No, that involves needles. So no.
Wow, then you're screwed,
No,
Marco.
I'm joking a little bit, but no, I just never.
You'll get a tattoo.
I didn't know that.
Not a blood.
Well, yeah.
Touche.
No, I didn't know because when I get my blood work done, it's usually for cholesterol. So I just need to.
Yeah.
And usually, I guess it's not covered by my normal doctor or whatever. Like those tests, I guess you got to do it separately.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize you could just walk in and do it separately.
Same. That's what happened.
What was it, an online thing, or you went to the doctor to go get
I
it?
went online.
Yeah,
I
and they
went
got
to
the
Quest.
box.
Yeah.
And
Went to
then-
Quest Diagnostics, ordered a
in the
test.
box?
No idea you could go to Quest without being referred to as by a doctor.
That's when I learned. I was like, I just went there. I'm like, I mean, the doctors aren't giving me what I need. Like, I felt very convinced it's celiac. That's what it is. And doctors are like, no, it's not. I don't think it is. It looks different than this. Your feet wouldn't act like that. It's got to be. They thought it was, what's the one? Rheumatoid arthritis is what they were.
Okay.
And so we did blood tests for all kinds of things, but we didn't do blood tests for they wouldn't give me that. And I thought that was weird. And so there's like insurance codes, like they have so much they have to operate in. But when I went to Quest Diagnostics, I'm like, it's $30.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We're crying over $30 here.
Right.
So I just bought it.
Yeah.
And I went and did all my blood work and I threw that one in there and they did it. And it was like, oh yeah, you have celiac. You
Looky there.
like, oh wow.
Because I'm going to be going again soon for my cholesterol, my lipid panel. And so, yeah, if I can say, hey, add this onto it.
Yeah.
Just
Nice little
go buy
cocktail.
it.
Do it. Yeah. I think
Why not? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, why not know what we're sensitive to and what we're not?
Yeah. I think it's very important. The inflammation is something interesting, but people don't recognize that could be a sign of something. And we get told, which I don't like at all. I don't like when someone says, well, that's just aging. I'm like, anyways, there's a new version of how science is like, that's not what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be doubled over in pain. You're not supposed to be X amount overweight. You're not supposed to have problems walking up the stairs. Like there's a cardiovascular situation where you got to exercise the body. You're not supposed to do that,
Right.
But we were told, as all of our family members before us, like, that's just what it is. It's like, that's not. So luckily we live at this time and age that you can go and say, you know what, let me go check and, get a box, get it tested, check it out.
Right.
Because the inflammation is a key, but we get used to like, oh, it's nothing. It's just I have this pain constantly in my back that won't go away. And it's been 7 years now. It's kind of a small signal to say something might be something you should look into something.
Yeah, like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
you
nah.
can feel it in your body, right? You
Yeah.
can feel when something's, and I used to, so my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they, Sam's brother. And so anyway, they're big health, on eating and everything else. And they were the ones that actually convinced me, hey, try going gluten-free. Like, and my brother-in-law was he was like, look, I didn't believe it at first either, but it really did help me. I'm just saying, try it for 2 weeks. If nothing happens in 2 weeks, you can stop, but just try it. Like, you have nothing to lose. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And I did. And all of a sudden, at the end of the 2 weeks, I was like, I actually feel different. Let me try it for a third week. Let me try it for a fourth week. And then I went like 8 months gluten-free at one point before I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit, but it made a huge difference.
How many months?
8.
8 months.
Mm-hmm. And it was a huge difference. And I actually loved it. And a couple of interesting things. So he was, absolutely right, because he was saying that it causes inflammation like in the joints. And obviously then we chase it with ibuprofen to reduce it. He's like, don't be doing that. Don't be putting more in your body. Just stop it at the source. Believe it or not, the gluten is the source. You'll feel better. Your joints will feel better. Everything will feel better. And so when I tried it, I really did feel better.
Yeah.
But my sensitivity to it was now even heightened. So even if I had a little bit of gluten, I'd really be in pain. So I did notice that you do have to make a commitment and a sacrifice that if you are going gluten-free, then it's not like kind of gluten-free.
You can't be.
No, it needs to be you're all in or you're not, because your body will adjust to not having those toxins in your body. And so it doesn't have that 24/7 defense mechanism up.
Yeah.
Fighting it off. So then when you put a little bit
in other places, it's your body attacking itself.
And all of a sudden it's like, well, let me just have one slice of pizza. That can't hurt. And I fell off of it when Sam was going through chemo, because we were eating in the hospital a lot and stuff like that. And I was just like, I cannot worry about food right now.
You don't want to worry about you.
Right. And I just, it's like, what, am I going to leave the hospital to go get something that's healthy for me? It's like, no, I'm just going to, I'll just eat whatever's here. I'll have some, whatever it was. And it just, And I had to go through a couple weeks of being uncomfortable again with gluten. Then my body adjusted. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not really fine. I'm still sore.
Yeah.
Now my joints are sore again, and I'm just have a general soreness. But my body adjusted to gluten again. But it went through a big adjustment.
I think it's a blessing in disguise when it does that. I mean, it's like either you can choose to continue to have that lifestyle of gluten-free, right? If you find the benefits outweigh the pain of it, it's your choice,
Yeah.
But it's amazing how what you're talking about, the body's sensitivity, or it can't handle it later on, which I think is a blessing really in disguise, because Lord knows how much damage you've done already to the body all these years of just pounding it in, just eating it, taking, you know what I mean?
Sure.
That's unknown.
Yeah.
And so now I'm gluten reduced. I try to minimize it. Well, I eat certain breads and gluten-free breads and certain grain type, like natural ancient grain, stuff like that. So I do a lot of that, but and it does help.
Yeah.
But I'm not completely off of it again.
Yeah.
And I try to be sugar reduced too.
Yeah.
But as I found out this morning, thank you, Jared, that my sugar reduced coffee creamer is not good for me.
It hurts to learn. It could hurt.
It's painful.
I know.
It's painful. I'll have to look. It's like, no, but I love it. It's not sugar. I'm doing something good, but then I'm putting something bad in me.
Yeah, all these additives.
Oh man,
it's a journey. That's all it is, and we have to also be aware of that aspect of ourselves too. And it's like, well, then forget it. I'm gonna. People give up very easily when they do hit a speed bump like that. Like, oh my God, I thought I was doing so good these last 4 months, and here I am. It's like we can really beat ourselves up about it, but it's part of it, the journey of learning. Because we were talking about it downstairs. Like, most of us don't know what's in the food when we buy it pre-done from anywhere or restaurants. You don't know how much sodium is truly in it. You don't in anything.
Right.
That alone is bananas in and of itself. I wish that restaurants actually had where it comes from, what company they're getting it from. Like, I would personally like to know that, just how they have nutritional facts now that weren't available, that it changed, which was great, but it was eye-opener when people were like, oh, Coca-Cola has 400 calories in a can, but it wasn't until, I guess, that law was passed or something where they put the calories on it, which it just allowed us to be educated to choose that, oh, okay, let me not do that. I saw one it was Subway at the airport. I don't know where I was, maybe Philadelphia, but it was the first time I saw that on the menu screen above us. You look up and it had all the subs, and it had warning labels next to the subs. And it says, well, this is high sodium content, warning, 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 warning.
Really?
And each of those subs, I mean, I might be over exaggerating, but it was like 2,000 milligrams of sodium in like maybe half the sub, that's a lot of salt to have in just one.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that even though it was a warning sign, it makes you think, like, why didn't I question this before? Like, what's in it?
You said something earlier. You said, because we're told. And I think that's a huge part of the health journey, is that we don't well, at least in what I see and what happened with me as well, is like there's so much trust that you're supposed to have in doctors and in this pharmaceutical business and the medical field. You're supposed to give your health trust to them,
right?
And then be told that, like, you're waiting for them to tell you have celiac disease. And, you can't don't go to WebMD. Come on, you can't do your own research. And I understand from their perspective that they probably have to deal with that. And people saying that, oh, I have this or I have this anxiety issue or whatever. But I don't know. I think what that it becomes an issue when you're told what is wrong or how you should feel. And, oh, whatever, we all have fatty liver disease. They call it the man's disease, I've heard that before. And I feel like, well, that's silly, but our livers are under attack.
Right.
Like we have these autoimmune diseases, which are eating our livers. We chase it with ibuprofen, which eats our liver. And then we drink alcohol, which eats our liver.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's the lizard's organ. It regenerates, but it can only handle so much. And then now to add to all that, all these literally called additives, all processed through the liver. Everything you breathe, everything you drink, everything you eat, it's just under attack 24/7. And so I think that understanding health is a huge thing I feel is missed in our education system. I personally was told my whole life, like, the doctors are there for you. And so only so many years you can go where you're like, well, they're not figuring it out.
Right.
And and to give myself the, or what do you call it? I guess to give myself the opportunity to look into it and have that autonomy to go, I can figure this out. They're not doing it. They're wrong. I'm right. And that's okay. I can do that. And then to be on the other side of that now and go, well, I'm glad I did that. It feels like, I feel like one of the things I was on the way over here, I was thinking, and I think, because you just said it's a journey, and I'm up 10 pounds. So I lost 150 pounds, and now I'm up 10 pounds.
Okay.
So over the course of this year, I went up and down. I kind of yo-yoed this year, and now I'm up to 256.
Okay.
So that doesn't, I don't feel good about that.
Right.
I feel like, okay, well, but now it's like, it's information.
Yes.
And it's able, okay, what's changing? And I can analyze that. And I think what it is it's the relationship with what I started saying, which is there's, I have 3 kids. And so they are always hungry. They're 24/7 hungry. They're just hungry all the time. And so for them, this whole, like, breakfast, they're hungry. They want to eat. Lunchtime, they're hungry.
Yeah.
Dinner, they're hungry. They're always hungry. And so when we're making them food, it's like, oh, well, we make food as a family. And so I'm not hungry, but I'm eating.
Yeah.
But then I'm also leveraging what I already learned the previous years, which is, I eat when I'm hungry. So don't eat, but eat when you're hungry.
Right.
So I'm doing that now, but then I'm also joining them at lunch and at dinner.
Okay. So, but you're aware of that. And a lot of people will not be aware of that, and they'll blame it on the whatever.
What's happening? I'm doing everything.
And it's like, and I love somebody said, it's like, if you did everything, you would be skinny. You would be fit if you did everything, but you have to be honest with yourself. And a lot of people miss that. That's a hard one for people.
Yeah. Well, and that's true too. Like I think that's totally a thing that I even went through for years. Like, I'm doing everything. What is happening? How can I not lose weight? This is impossible. But then it's like, oh, well, those deadlines for your client, you'll get those done. That was impossible, but you did it.
Yeah.
And so when it's for you, it's easy to take whatever, you take that off your plate.
That's a really good point.
But I'm tough.
That's a really good point, because when we're under pressure for someone or something else, we get it done.
Totally.
Somehow we get it done.
Yeah.
So do you find that when you're under more pressure, or under stress from other things, work or anything else, that you do you go to food for comfort?
Always have.
More? I always have.
Always have. Yeah.
Like when I'm stressed, like right now, we're trying to put up a show in the theater, and I have a week. And it's and I feel like I need like a month, and I have a week, and just because it's we're in Hell Week, or we're just about to enter Hell Week, which is a thing in theater. But and there's a lot of high pressure and a lot of stress. So I will all of a sudden, there's donuts laying around, I'm gonna eat one.
Woof.
I know. But what about you, Nat? Do you when you're stressed, do you turn to food, or you turn away from food?
I believe I have on my journey found a good balance. I have to add the physical consistency. That's what I'm missing. But I have found that as long as I set myself up for success, and I mean like talking to myself, like you could do this, no problem. Go ahead, boil the eggs. Not for for later. Meaning is I do these things for myself later, my future self. Because if not, and if I fast, like what you guys are talking about, I don't eat and I surpass it or I'm too stressed out. Yes, I'm going to eat that donut. That's right there. It's very difficult. But so I've been very good at being able to fill myself up with the proteins and all that stuff. So I like to do one thing at a time first. So my focus was the food. So when I am stressed, and I just had something in the family happened not too long ago, but I was able to have my tea, all that stuff. I was fine. Like I'm fine. Like, cause I know that when I go home, I'm going to eat this. Now, as a woman, that certain time, not to get weird or whatever, but during that time, if that month, if I didn't eat properly, I can right away, like the comfort. I need it right away.
Right.
But if I neglected myself by not eating, by not taking care of myself, that's all I want for 7 days straight, chicken pot pie, like 7 of them in a row.
Good.
But yeah, as long as I just put myself, and I have been setting it up, I'm telling you, that's the only way it works for me.
Yeah. So that prep work.
Prep work.
And hot teas. Hot teas help too. I told my mother the other day, she was so cute because she's God bless her, she's an emotional eater, stress eater. That's her, that she feels very comfortable eating. But I remember I was saying, she's like, I'm so hungry. We have to go eat. I'm like, Mom, you might take this offense, but I'm telling this to myself too. You can afford to be hungry. It's okay. We can afford to be hungry. Give me 1 more hour. Have a hot tea. You're golden. Know what that feeling is, because a lot of people don't know what that is either.
Where's that coming from?
What?
Within you to tell your mother that? Where's that confidence?
In the
tea, in the...
Oh, because the science behind it, when you have hot liquids, it tells the stomach, it tricks it to say that it's full. So the hot liquids over, and I would say tea, not coffee, because then you're dehydrating yourself. But a hot tea, hot liquid, I know. But I know you don't like tea at all. But I'm talking to Marco, he's like rolling his eyes.
I don't know. No.
I love it.
It's for that. So to get you past the certain hunger points. And then when you're, you think you're hungry, like have a tea. And anyway, so I'm trying to help her on her journey to notice that she doesn't have to gorge on food all day or whatever it is. Like be a little bit more self-disciplined. You're eating at this time if you want, whether she's fasting or not, but not all day and not whatever you want.
Are you drinking tea sweetened or unsweetened?
Unsweetened.
Oh man, that's barbaric.
Herbal tea?
I used to do black tea. Black coffee. Some herbal, some whatever. I have green teas. I've heard that's a great one. So I would like to go down that rabbit hole and get more education with that. But right now I feel totally fine. If I have a hot tea ready to go, I'm good. Meaning is it's set up before I even use it. So I'm actually falling into it when I go into the kitchen. It's ready to go.
Love it.
Yeah.
If I can do coffee, I can go for a very long time without eating.
Yeah.
Not tea.
Yeah.
Tea's horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible substance. But if I can do coffee.
Evil tea, that's the devil. That is pizza.
It tastes like you put dirt and water. So it's horrible.
But hold on. With your coffee, you put stuff in it.
Yes.
But you don't put stuff in your tea.
Yeah. Well, not cream or anything, but it's sugar. Or a sweetener. Okay. I would want a sweetener.
Okay.
I did sweet and low for a while, but then of course that's not good for you. And then like stevia, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But then there seems to be something wrong with every other.
There's what do you call it? The side effects of it, or the stevia or something like that. I've heard.
Stevia supposed to be all natural though.
It's all addiction.
Well, I'm addicted to coffee.
You're addicted to sweet. You're addicted to sugar.
With the coffee.
But there's no sugar in here.
But it is though.
The cream.
That's
sweetness. What we're getting at.
You're chasing the
maybe, but I don't like it with tea or other things. Like I've taken soda out of my diet completely. I don't drink soda at all.
Hot water with lemon.
That's
water.
That's just. I'm not 80. I'm not. I would.
That's a tea.
That's okay.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
When I fast for 3 days and I come off a fast and eat just the citrus, coffee has never taken me to that level of energy and focus and clarity ever in my life.
Stop.
As citrus?
As being fasted
And
then feeding yourself something like a citrus or something super fresh.
Maybe like an orange or like
an orange.
An orange. Okay.
You mean like a cookie or
orange infused chocolate?
I like
orange creme cookie?
They have citrus creamer, I think.
Okay, so can you tell me a little about your fasting? I'm curious, like how long do you do it? And
yeah, that's because you said fasting. You know, we're fasting in our sleep, which is true. Break fast. You know, so I think I originally got onto this because of the whole TikTok Gary Brecka. I don't know if you guys have seen.
No.
You know, the whole fasting wave, and I feel like you might have even quoted Tim Ferriss there a minute ago with the whole like getting your protein in the morning.
It's and I would say it's more Athlean X. There's a guy, Jeff Cavalier, who I love. But anyways, so I dabbled in getting and from educating myself on fasting with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how.
Yeah. So I started by just finding that, well, I did a little research at first because, you know, with all the health conditions and people are like, oh no, talk to your doctor. And I'm like, no, never in my life. I'm not going to talk to my doctor. They failed me. And this is my own personal, you know, you do you. But for me, I have a bad experience with doctors over the years. Been to too many of them without results. And I love doctors too, but I feel like there's a very interesting situation with doctors. But so I start fasting on my own and researching like, okay, well, you can go a very long time without eating, especially if you have fat stores. Like if you're obese or even overweight, like you can fast for an incredible long time. And so I started with, and I did this years ago, and I was juicing and then like fasting and like very desperate. Like I need to lose weight. I need to do everything. And one of those times where like I did it all. And I ended up getting like a kidney stone. And so then I was like, a kidney, it was just terrible. And then I was in the hospital because I couldn't pass it. So they had to do surgery on it. I think this was back in the, I remember that. And so that like totally, I was like, okay, terrified of it now.
But
like,
wait, from green juice, whatever that's called?
No, I think it was, I was doing, I didn't give anything enough time. I was like, tried that, move on. Next thing, Nutrisystem, try that. That's what gave me this. That's what gave me the kidney stone. The Nutrisystem, I think, was what gave me the kidney stone. These little box, like a cartoon. You put a drop of water on it, it turns into a meal. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, you know, everyone was eating lean cuisines and like this was like that era.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I started fasting and I did 24 hours, then I did 36 hours. And then I started to see this thing called autophagy. People talk about it, which doctors are not aware of. Like when you speak to any doctor I've gone to, they're like, never heard of it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they're like, I don't know if that's a thing. But like for 2 years, I believed in it. And it didn't matter if it was a thing or not.
You wanted to give it a go.
But I made a story where I told myself this is a thing, and I did it. And I think I fasted the longest for like 102 hours.
Jeez, what? I'm trying to count the days.
Yeah, it's almost
4 or 5?
Almost 5, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Days. Yeah.
Okay.
And people can go like 2 weeks. I've never done that.
Well, yeah, there is a 21-day fast.
Yes, that's what they were doing. It's a 21-day fast.
21-day fast, but that you're on a very, it's usually, there's a certain drink that you do. It's water, molasses. It's lemon. It's like, you put it together and you drink that. Like you can drink as much as you want, but it has to be a very specific type of water, a very specific type of molasses. Very like, as you put this together.
It's a bit extreme for me.
And then every morning you do a saltwater cleanse.
Yeah, and
where
you
drink
sodium,
warm, warm salt water, and you have to like guzzle this, like it's a certain amount.
Yeah,
and then it kind of like the salt scrubs your system, so you have to do it where you're near a bathroom.
It gives you the electrolytes.
It just like flushes you. It's almost like prepping for a colonoscopy.
Yeah,
it flushes you out, and it gets rid of all the toxins in your system. And apparently, after you get past day 2 or 3, it becomes much easier. Because the first couple of days is where you really go through the detox, the headaches, the like, the cravings, all of that. And then you kind of settle into it. And then you can go apparently all the way up to 21 days.
It got really easy.
It's healthy. Yeah, it gets easier.
I never would have thought I could do 5 days. But then after once you reach that like third day, actually, honestly, after the first 36 hours, it's pretty easy.
Oh, cayenne pepper. It's called the lemonade diet.
It's hysterical. Only because there's the show that I watch almost every night because I love Veep. We've had this discussion before. One of the characters, he's the press secretary for her or whatever. And he tells everybody, it's like, I'm fasting. And this is my drink. And it gets swapped out. He's like, who took my drink? Yeah. So anyways, but he like passes out. But he had that drink with all that stuff in it.
It is interesting. I did try it once and I made it, almost a day. But I made it I made it a day, but then I had severe headaches from other things, because of like the caffeine and everything else.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to like take anything, like even aspirin or anything else. And in hindsight, if I did it again for the first couple days, I would take Tylenol or something just for the headaches. And then I could wean off of that too.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, if you were quitting cigarettes right now, we wouldn't be having this like simple discussion about it. Like, well, how long have you gone? It's really hard. We need to put you, or alcohol. We need to put you in rehab. Like we'd be all serious about quitting. We're like, oh no, this is serious. Like you need a program. Like, and it's the same. We're all addicted to sugar.
There it is.
We're addicted to it. And so like, we're like, well, you haven't tried quitting. Well, it's hard. It's like quitting alcohol. It's like quitting smoking. It's your body is, what is it? They go into, if like a heroin addict starts to sweat and like they're, what is that called?
I'm trying to think.
Detox?
When they're having that I don't know what it's called. Forget that.
I'm gonna go with these. I haven't. Well, I did eat. I was gonna say I haven't eaten. I'm foggy.
Well, their body, it's telling them you need heroin right now. You need heroin. Go get it.
Right. Every cell in your body is like, I need it now.
Yeah, it's called the lemonade diet. It's also known as the master cleanse.
Oh.
And you can do it for like 7 days. You can like the maximum one is like 21 days. I don't think you're supposed to go more than that.
And you mentioned molasses in there.
Yeah. So.
What do you
because
doing?
it's here. During this time, individuals consume only the following: it's 6 to 12 glasses of a mixture made with 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and it's supposed to be a certain grade maple syrup. I think it's grade A maple syrup. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 8 ounces of warm water. Now this has maple syrup. I think molasses could be there, or it's something in there, but. And there's variations of this. And I think it's a certain type of water, too. This is, I think, AI telling me this.
Like an alkaline water?
But it can, it's calorie restriction, detoxification. And, of course, there's risks. Nutrient deficiencies, electrolyte imbalances, muscle loss, fatigue. I mean, there's all these things. But, it's called the Master Cleanse. And it's I don't know. Apparently, people that do it, they do it once a year, twice a year. They love it. And there's different lengths. I don't know why they're derivatives of 7, but maybe that's just to make it easy, but they're different lengths of it. 7, 14,
there might
21.
be a reason.
Yeah.
Because that's a long time to go without having.
But there's a lot of prep work to it because you're supposed to use actual lemons, like not lemon juice, not lemon, like not
Mrs. Buttersworth.
Right. Exactly.
Like adobo. I don't have cayenne, but adobo I can use.
You don't eat any solid foods. You start with a morning saltwater drink to flush your body, which is intense. And then you sip 6 to 12 glasses, which is a lot. Of the lemonade throughout the day. Before bed, you have a cup of herbal laxative tea.
Jesus.
And so it's very, very specific. And it's all about just getting everything out of your body. Now, of course, after the first couple of days, anything solids out of your body, but then your body starts detoxing into your digestive system.
Yeah.
So every morning you're now flushing out anything it detoxed into your digestive system.
But you can't, I'm thinking of what you're saying. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm thinking when you do that, you can't go to work. You can't work on that. You do?
No, well, that's what it's saying. You get a different type of energy through that. So you're able to work through it. And this is, I'm looking on, this is WebMD I'm on right now.
Interesting. I would just think that when you're fasting at that level, that you would vacation time. So you can be, again, I think, give yourself everything that you need to commit to that because it takes.
You can't drink alcohol. Obviously, if nothing else.
You
in your
imagine?
system. Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, even water. I think if you do too much like
Yeah.
empty water, it would be considered dangerous in those situations.
Drinks,
Wow.
drinks allowed on the
Flushing.
master cleanse. The saltwater drink, which is the morning thing only, because it is literally like prepping for the best thing I can say is if you ever prepped for a colonoscopy, it's like that every morning.
That's the drink, and they just give you like a drink. The colonoscopy,
Well, there
like
they
the powder.
do. Yeah, it's that, or it's basically a big. It's a lot of Metamucil that you just
It's a
like,
lot of
pumping.
Metamucil.
So you can do the saltwater drink in the morning. You have the lemonade beverage made with lemon or lime juice, I guess, maple syrup, water, cayenne pepper, herbal laxative tea, water or mint tea, it says as well. Foods to avoid, which is, everything.
No food.
It's basically no food.
Yeah.
And then foods allowed afterwards, you have to then slowly
Introduce.
bring your inner juice. So you start with orange juice and vegetable soup.
Your citrus.
And then you eat raw fruits and vegetables. And then after this, the plan calls for eating mainly fruits, vegetables, seeds, berries, as you come back onto it.
This is where I'm bad. When like there's all these restrictions and rules, I'm like, can I just not eat? I don't want the rules. It's for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to eat anything and then I'll drink. But he's right. There's it gets dangerous though. Like if you're doing this and like, let's say I was drinking a lot of water, like tons of water and water's empty. Like it's not salt water. I'm most people are drinking.
Right.
And I'm not putting lemon in it. If I'm just pounding water,
and
that's really dangerous.
And the rules, if you will, or those are rules to me. I don't think it's a guideline. Like I don't suggest anybody do that without really consulting their doctor, or I don't even know, because everybody has a unique situation they're going through personally. But there is also that thin balance of now, is this bulimia or anorexia? Meaning is you're not eating. You know what I mean? Because when you're like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
This isn't supposed to be this is for a period of time.
I don't mean what you're talking about. I'm just saying in general, we're talking about like
Just
if
fast
you don't.
Definitely see that happening.
When he said, I just want to not eat, so I won't have the salt water and things like that.
I think it can.
What?
Like if you just go into like some of this intermittent fasting, I think intermittent fasting can be good. I think it'd be really good.
Yeah.
Because like we don't need to eat as much as we do. But I think it can, if we're not careful, all of a sudden we are hungry and it's like, no, I'm not going to eat because it's not within my window. It's like, yeah, but your body's telling you are hungry right now.
Yeah.
So I think it can, there's a fine line between eating disorder and diet or whatever we call it. And
the responsibility of one person, of yourself, to be able to, again, be honest with yourself. Like, am I checking in, am I doing this the correct way? Or is it just now becoming a habit or a pattern that I'm like, no. And now it kind of teetered into that aspect of anorexia, if you will. Same thing with people who are raw vegans or vegans. Love them. I did it. But I mean, a potato, McDonald's French fry or whatever it is, that's Oreos are vegan,
Correct.
So if you have just bags of Oreos, that's not beneficial. You're not being responsible to give yourself what you need.
Correct. Vegan doesn't mean nutritious.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Right. It's
that
just
thin line between.
Yeah. It's just not eating animals.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a moral thing than it is.
I think so.
But some people do it
can be
as
healthy.
a diet.
Yeah.
And it can be healthy if you're eating the right type of thing.
Right.
Like raw veggies and even cooked.
It's kind of like gluten-free. And it's like, well,
Dehydrated.
gluten-free doesn't mean nutritious because they have gluten-free Oreos, which are delicious, by the way.
Yeah. And pasta.
The gluten-free pasta is amazing.
Yeah.
So even in the Master Cleanse, this is their doctors on WebMD are now talking about it. And they're saying you lose weight, but it's typically not the type of weight that you're trying to lose. Because when you restrict calories, you're losing muscle, you're losing water, you're losing stored carbohydrates, like all the things that are before it tackles the fat.
Yeah.
So it's good for detox, but you shouldn't be looking at it as a weight loss thing because then you're losing the stuff that you need and your body's going to put it right back.
Yeah.
And then this doctor is saying that you don't actually need to detox. There's no evidence to say that you need it because your liver takes care of it. So there's a lot of counterpoints.
Yeah. And that was the thing with autophagy. Like I was believing in this. And I think that's why I was able to lose 150 pounds because I was enjoying the process of trusting that I don't have to eat. Like I don't really have to. And like you told your mom, like you put it in a cost way. You're like, you can afford to not eat right now.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's interesting because I think we can all afford
Not
to challenge our sugar addictions
Yes.
and our food addictions every once in a while, just to show ourselves like you don't have to eat. That's not actually hunger.
Right.
Like we tell ourselves that's hunger. That's not hunger. You're
Right.
fine. And once you break that a few times, like, oh, and then I think for me, what I could see going into the eating disorder area is I definitely, like I said, I've never been more clear than when I fast. It's like super focused.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like defying ADHD. Like you're like, I'm always distracted, all these thoughts and stuff. But then when you're fasting, like you feel like really clear. You feel youthful. That's what the citrus in the morning does after a long fast. It's like, I feel youthful. I feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so light.
That's why your skin's so amazing.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah, I did it. It's not, I don't consider it fasting, but it was for the religious holiday that I partook in. And it was my first time just having raw veggies. So I was basically a vegan for like, I would say 2 months, if you will. And it came upon one day where I was all of a sudden, everything was just so much clearer, like a fog just kind of dissipated. So it was just this experience that I am very fascinated by, can food help you be more healthy, that fascination or lack of it. Right. But that fascination of can it truly help you get rid of stuff inside? Like I've read the studies. One was about the plaque and the high cholesterol. And they were talking about you can reverse it if you do eat healthy, maybe fast or whatever that is, talk to your doctors for a specific amount of time. And I always thought like, what an incredible thing. If the doctor said, listen, go ahead, try the nutrition, do nothing but veggie, whatever it is, fast and veggies, do that. That might help. And I find it amazing. Like, oh, okay. I would like to get myself to that place where I'm having enough, because I know the parents and family members that I have that are at a certain age, they want all the medications because they don't want to give up nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Yep. And I'm like, you have the possibility to see if nutrition can reverse you from getting open heart surgery, and you would rather continue. My heart, my mind, I don't understand it. It's just amazing. I don't know. Addiction.
It is.
There you go.
It is addiction. And just like my coffee addiction, it's could I live with coffee without coffee? Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, do I want to? No.
Right.
It's like the one vice I don't want to get rid of. But luckily coffee's not bad for you. All the stuff we put in it is bad for us.
At certain amounts, milligrams of caffeine. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe the next episode. How many milligrams a day you having?
I have a couple cups a day.
How big are your cups?
Well, whatever this
cups?
is.
Yeah, that's
20 ounces or whatever. So it's not that bad.
Do you have a cutoff time?
I need a cutoff time. And so many times I will try to not have coffee. Like I'll have it here in the morning and the afternoon, but I will try not to have it in the evening, like after 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Sometimes when I'm just like, if I'm teaching and I'm just crashing, I will have a cup, but I try not to put sugar in it though. I don't put sugar in it. So it's
creamer or whatever
the
that
artificial coffee creamer thing. I'll put a little bit of that in there. I know, but just for something, just to take the bitterness out. And, or I'll do 1 packet of stevia. And just to cut down the bitterness, but just something, just the hot liquid just helps keep me awake and everything else, and the caffeine, I try to cut it off.
You feel satiated, you feel satisfied.
I do.
Like, I scratched an itch or something.
But if I don't need it at night, I'll stick to water, because water can give me energy just on its own, but I don't always have that. So I do enjoy intermittent fasting when we do it. Sam's great at it, but I eat in the morning. I will eat in the morning, not right when I wake up, but I will eat breakfast because then I teach. So I try to eat before I teach so I have energy. At least a banana. I don't eat a huge bread, but at least a banana. And then I'll teach, and then I'll eat again around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I'll teach again. And then I'll try not to eat when I get home. That's the hardest part of the day for me.
Wait a second. You have a banana, and then what else?
And then I'll eat something for lunch.
What's that something?
I was fasting last time I was here, and he ate No, you ate an egg. You ate an egg sandwich.
I had an egg sandwich.
That was
Yeah.
good.
So I did eat that. It was
And you're like, I might eat a banana later.
It was
I'm like,
it was Dave's bread, and then it was
why don't you
yeah,
just
but
fast?
it was eggs.
What's the point?
Oh, because
you don't eat anything.
Yeah, but Dave's bread, which is all the whole grains or whatever, and then some eggs on it. Yeah, that's
I do
that's a
like
lot
Dave's
of food.
bread. That's a lot of food.
Well, I don't need.
No.
I mean, well, here's the thing. I can eat. Like if I go out to a restaurant, which they overserve, right? I can eat all of it.
Yeah,
I can eat and not stop.
gotcha.
But so I have to limit
Mhm.
what I'm eating.
Well,
so,
it sounds like you're good at portion control, which is
Yeah.
cool. A
Pretty
lot of
good,
people have a
except-
problem with that.
except at night. So when I'm done teaching at night, so I exert a lot of energy when I'm teaching.
Mhm.
And, then I don't even leave TAs typically till 11 o'clock at night. And I haven't eaten since, 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and except maybe coffee or, water or something. And then when I come home, I don't know why. And I think it's habit more than anything else or comfort, but I'm starving.
Because you only had a banana and an egg sandwich.
No, I mean, I'll eat. No, I'll eat. I eat more than
This
that.
is going to be episode part 2.
I eat more than that.
We're going to have the telephones wired ready. Like,
No,
call if you
like-
think that Marco.
Okay, so like yesterday.
Ooh, time to stand.
Yesterday was my university day, right? So it was Wednesdays. So I wake up in the morning. I get in the car. I'm out of the house by 7 a.m. I'm on my way. I'll stop at Dunkin' Donuts
Oh,
and I'll get a
Coffee.
wake up wrap,
Uh-huh.
which is just like the little wraps with bacon and
and it says,
egg
wake
and
up.
cheese. So
Why
wake
did you
up.
put that in makeup?
Wake up, Marco.
Order a hash browns. So I'm getting my carbs because I do need energy because I stand. I don't ever sit when
Those
I teach.
hash browns are crack.
They are.
Fried, well, whatever they are.
and a coffee.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll have that. And then I typically won't eat again until that's it. I eat that at 7:45 in the morning. And then that carries me through until about 3 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then yesterday I went straight to the studio and then I had, what'd I get? I got Chick-fil-A afterwards.
This
and
is
I
not
had-
good, Marco.
I had grilled nuggets.
Process
I had
both
grilled
Chick-fil-A and
nuggets.
Dunkin'. Don't let your doctor
had the-
listen to this episode.
I have grilled nuggets.
I
have they're-
from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. But it's okay.
No.
Grilled nuggets.
Where is that app?
Yeah, Yuka.
Yuka. Oh, did we talk
Chick-fil-A
about this?
grilled nuggets are
We're going
okay.
to Yuka all of it and maybe you'll see.
Do it. Look it up. And I have their kale salad
That's good.
as their side, and I get a half sweet, half unsweet lemonade or iced tea.
hmm
Right, and that's it. And then I'll have that, and that will carry me through. And then typically, though, at night I get hungry.
hmm
But if I could get myself to sleep without eating, I feel so much better the next day, and I sleep better. I get better quality sleep. I'm more rested, and I don't wake up hungry in the morning. I'll go to sleep hungry, but I will not wake up hungry in the morning. That's the weird thing.
Isn't it? Yeah, because your body like shuts down. Like your digestive system shuts down. And you wake up, you're like, oh,
AKA, is that metabolism?
I don't know anything. So
Yeah.
I
Wait, the
honestly
next one.
think-
This is
I think it's habit. I really, when I think I come home at night, I think it's habit, and I don't like. I think it's that what we talked about a couple weeks ago, where it's this game. My body's not really hungry, but I get comforted by eating when I come home at night,
Mhm.
and so it's not. 'Cause I need wind down time. I mean, I get home at
Sure, yeah.
11:30 at night. I
Still up.
typically can't fall asleep for 2 more hours.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, I want to eat something. And it's not always the best choices that I eat at night.
Mm.
I would love to eat a salad when I get home. I love salads. But-
that's good.
Yeah.
that doesn't upset your stomach, a salad at night.
No.
Hmm.
Typically not. Well, it depends. If I go a while without eating a salad, then when I do eat one, yeah, my stomach's like, what the hell is this?
What is this? That's like,
What is this
salad?
green leafy stuff? that
What
you're
am I, a
putting inside? So yeah. But yeah, I do enjoy when I can eat my last meal at like 5 or 6 o'clock and that's it. And then I don't have any other food until the next morning. That's when I feel my best.
Yeah.
It's limiting food at night for me.
Yeah, and I think it was like what if we lose 5% of our body fat? Like most people, if we just lost 5 to 10% of our body fat, we would eliminate like any ailments we have, like any issues
right.
you're having, it would just disappear.
It's crazy. So I don't know. I think there's something to intermittent fasting, or at least not eating too late at night. Like as you said, the 3-2-1 thing. At least getting to the
Try
point
it.
of
And good
not
sleep hygiene. Instead of,
sleep
you know,
hygiene.
I don't know, something to work on, strive towards.
I need a lot of work on sleep. That's
That's a
for sure.
huge
And then, you know,
thing. Sleep is a huge thing that people, they think it's like a lazy thing or whatever, but
No,
good quality
you need it.
sleep is
But
everything.
It's quality sleep.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily amount, because some people will sleep for like 8 to 10 hours. It's like, that's
No.
way too much. But I understand sleeping that long. If you're not getting quality sleep, your body,
Right.
then you feel you need more.
or if you have sleep apnea. and you
Or,
can't sleep.
yeah,
apnea,
exactly.
Yes. Which that interrupted sleep cycle.
Yep. Not good.
But if you can get even like 5 may be a little on the low side, but 6 hours of quality sleep, I'm fully rested.
And haven't they already said, the U.S. government a while back, that sleep deprivation is a form of torture? Like, so imagine that if you have apnea or your dog is barking or whatever the hell, you know, and of course, I'm not talking about people who have kids, you know, there's a time and place for that, but like, you know, infants and stuff, but I'm just talking about that same thing that's happening to your brain. You're being interrupted and trying to constantly, like, that's almost a form of torture. It does really a lot of harm to your body to not get good sleep.
And then a friend of ours, Fahim, who is he's almost done with Ramadan right now. And during Ramadan, he goes through, and we were like were we in the run of the show during that, where they don't eat for between sun up and sundown. So they fast, not even water. They don't have anything. And that was the thing that always got me. It's like, you can't even have water? Nope, nothing. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But in the morning,
once
they
you get
feast.
dehydrated or
At
whatever.
night.
But then the moment, at sundown, like, you know, they have an exact time every day. Then they break the fast, and then
It's
they can
even in
eat.
religions.
And they have some
can eat,
gorgeous
and he
food.
does it for a month. Like this one was February 28th, and it ends in March 29th. So he's got 2 more days. And then they usually celebrate it with like a big like feast type of thing. And, you know,
Is that like the EID? Is that what that is? EID festival or whatever?
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know. But it does it every year, and he gets by. He's like, I'm always like, because to me, I'm like, to me, the water thing is the thing that always surprises me. He goes, without water, I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
But he does it, and he tends to feel good. And then, you know, you got to regulate what you eat, but you eat from sundown to sunup. You can eat anything you want.
Yeah. So the thing about autophagy that doesn't exist to doctors that I've spoken to, but the whole idea of it is that when you fast for a certain amount of time, I think they say after 72 hours, it's kind of useless. That's what autophagy says. 36 to 72 is where you get the main benefits of your body focusing on its energy on your cells. So it's cleaning up house. It's like using these cells that otherwise would just be stuffed in and fat cells. Yeah. And now it's cleaning. It's cleaning house. So it's like, I think that there's something natural about what our body's already programmed to do and evolved to do, that we're not allowing it to do because we're like, oh, time to eat. Time to eat. Time to eat. And then it doesn't ever have that time to go, oh, I need to clean. It doesn't have time to. And then we don't get sleep. And then when you don't get sleep, you don't do any more cleaning. So we're just we're inflaming everything. We're stacking all these different.
We're caught in a bad cycle then. Right?
Yeah, we don't have the right system. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is about process.
I think so. I think it's about being I think it's the story we tell ourselves. It's like, if you can believe in the story of what you're doing, how you're eating food, how you feel like you use food. Like, I think that's important to know you're using food.
Yes. The utilization of the fuel.
Yeah. And like when you said the cost to your mom, like we could afford it. I think that's a really good association because it's like, that is the relationship food is with us. It's like, it is energy, it's fuel.
Yes.
And so having that story and believing in it and knowing by not eating right now, I'm benefiting myself. I'm helping myself, my future self, by preparing for the situation, or I'm helping myself by saying, I know how happy I'm going to feel in 3 days when I said I was going to do it and I did it. That's one thing.
Right.
And the other thing is you feel so focused, so clear. And then also you're losing that 5 to 10% body fat that you need to lose. So.
That's amazing. Believe it or not, we are out of time.
Time flies.
I know this is such an amazing conversation, and it was really cool. We'll have to continue it, but you probably won't be with us next week. We'll have to see if we can get you connected in with us to continue. Once we figure out where you're at in your schedule and everything
get
else,
settled in.
But we'll try to connect you in at least a few times from Spain.
Yep, from Spain.
So we'll do that. But thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you so much.
Oh my God, this was such a great conversation. Yeah. Thank you once again, Nat.
Absolutely.
And thank you all out there for listening. We really appreciate it. We can't do it without you. Or we could, but what would the point be? But we will be back with you again soon. And until then, make sure to treat yourself and others with kindness and reward yourself for the risks that you take. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to learn more about our studio and what we do, you can find us online at truthfulacting.com. And check out truthfulactingonline.com for our Learn at Home at Your Own Pace courses.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.